Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at the DRF race of the day for Wednesday, September the 4th. Let's throw up the field for race number 3 at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Second level allowance with a $40,000 claiming option. We're going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt. 8 horses in the race. And Mike, it's a pretty competitive group. 5-2 morning line favorite is the number 2 Sylvia, coming off of a pace prompting win at Belterra.
Yeah, I mean, this horse has been in decent form, Dan, and has good tactical speed. I really didn't have a great idea who was necessarily going to be the favorite at post time. It could certainly be the 2.
There does appear to be a good amount of speed in this race. We'll throw up our time form US pace projector. The number 3, the Kid Pataki. She's seeking her 3rd consecutive victory, and she does have good early zip. Asset Purchase showed speed in her first start for New Connections. Might be tighter second off the layoff. One of the keys to the pace might be the 5, Wupcar, who didn't break well last time at Ellis Park. Gets some class relief and might work out a good trip.
Yeah, and had shown speed in some of her prior races as well. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they got a little aggressive here. Dan had an excuse in the last one. This is a step back in class for her as well. I doubt you get the 10-1 morning line, but she looks like a contender to me in here.
A horse that would really benefit from a quick and contested pace is the number 1, in my opinion. Note the LP flag over her chiclet. That means she has the fastest time form US late pace rating. And you can make an argument that, in my opinion, is taking a marked class drop after racing at Ellis Park last time out in a high level allowance. Her first start for these connections off a short layoff. Didn't do much running that day, but the 3rd place finisher came back to finish first, placed 3rd via DQ in a similar spot with an 85 buyer.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you wanted to see her do something last time, and she really didn't. Never got out of last place in that race and just kept losing ground. She's better than that, Dan. Her race 2 starts back, she was also in, I thought, against a way tougher field in New York, and ran okay that day. We'll see if, dropping back to 6 furlongs makes any difference at all. I think she can. I think she is capable of sprinting, and she should have something to run at in the lane here.
Sylvia is the number 2, and we're going to take a look at Sylvia's most recent start, allowance race at Belterra. And this gray just ran very well. She found a really good position, tracking the pace 3 wide on the bag stretch, burst to a clear lead on the turn, and hold sway. 66 buyer speed figure. It seems ever since she's come back off a little bit of a layoff, she's improved greatly.
Her last 2 races are good. This is a good performance here. It kind of felt like she had this field overmatched a little bit and gets the job done. I don't know, Dan. I like the way that her form was heading early last year. That campaign was cut short, and so maybe that's enough of an excuse. Her races since she returned are fine. That last one that we just watched didn't make me want to take her as the morning line favorite in here, but maybe she won't be the favorite.
That race was at 6.5. Perhaps cutting back to 6 will help her a bit. She has 4 prior wins at the distance. The Kid Pataki is the number 3, and she's won her last 2 starts. She's an Indiana bred, so she's got the home court advantage over several of these. Here's her most recent race. Now, keep in mind this is an off-turf event against open first-level allowance foes, and not a great field if you look at the horses that have come out of this race in your free formulator past performances. But the Kid Pataki made the lead and keeps on going.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you sort of pointed out all the stuff that I didn't love about the race. She got the figure for it, Dan, for the first time. She earned a figure that's going to make her competitive in here. She is 4 for 9 in her life, so she likes to win races. But I mean, it's all, not only was that an off-turf race against a bad field, it was also a 5 furlong race. And this is 6. I don't know, man. I just found enough things not to really like about the Kid Pataki as a 3-year-old facing some better horses. And she's a short price on the morning line.
And while she has won at 6 in the past, Mike makes a good point. She got the fig last time out, but sometimes those 5/8 of a mile races, those buyer speed figures are a little bit hard to trust. The 4 Asset Purchase showed a good amount of ability earlier in her career for trainer Chad Brown, earning a stakes placing in her second lifetime start. Now, she was sold for $80,000 over the summer, made her first start for these connections at Belterra, going 5/8 in an off-turf heat. Showed good speed. It wasn't like the pace was very fast. However, she made an early lead change on the turn and she gets tired late. Have a feeling she can do better with this race under her girth, and she doesn't need to lead to win.
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. And I would also just point out, I mean, I don't know, it was 5 furlongs off the turf here, and maybe the guys who do the charts there at Belterra just didn't care about this race. But I mean, they don't even mention this horse didn't get out of the gate that well, gets bounced around between horses for several strides after the break in there, then rushes up to the lead, has the horse that wanted to finish in second come after her early. They dueled for a long way in there. I didn't think there was anything wrong with that performance, Dan. And she's got races on the go back in New York that they make her super tough in here.
Wupcar is the number 5. And I think if you're looking for a long shot, this one might fit the bill. She's very comfortable at Horseshoe Indianapolis. She raced twice in the spring here. Her most recent start is very competitive, 75 Beyer speed figure, dominating first level allowance foes. She tried Churchill the time after that. And last time out, she just didn't break very well and then was forced to chase in a slow paced race. With a better start, she can work out a better trip, and she fits with these horses.
Exactly. I mean, again, another horse. I don't believe the morning line for a second. I don't think you're getting 10-1 on this horse. I mean, she has several races. They just make her a handful in here. She's got speed, but she doesn't need the lead to win. She's taking a step back in class for this race. I mean, I think she's super logical despite the morning line.
Arizona bred number 6, Alberta's Son's a very likable horse, first or second in 22 of 39 lifetime tries, and is a horse that has run well without winning at Horseshoe Indianapolis in the past. Last time out was her first race off a little bit of a layoff. It was a slow-paced race, and she just didn't fire her best shot. I wish she ran a little bit better because I want to see one before I play her, even at a good square price on the morning line.
Yeah, agree. I just don't like her recent form enough to really want to, get behind this horse too strongly. Her most recent win, Dan, came last April of 2023. She's finished second or third 9 times since then without finding the winner's circle again.
Simply Complicated, the number 7, started her career 0 for 22, but she's found herself recently with 2 wins in her last 5 starts. Her most recent effort was an okay third at this level. Simply Complicated, as we watch the video, showed good speed from the start, then seemed to drop back while in between horses on the turn and kind of re-rallies evenly for third in a one-paced manner while never threatening. But the 1-5 favorite who finished second was a horse that she was pressing early. She was a giant price in that race, and she earned a competitive buyer. She can work out an outside stalking trip.
Yeah, we'll see if she can move forward, one more time here. This performance that we're watching is fine. Like you've already pointed out, it never looked like she was going to win that race. But she ran fine in there. If nothing else, since the trainer change here or earlier this year, I mean, she's certainly run the 3 best races of her life. Maybe she can move forward one more time.
Artful Hope might be part of the pace picture as well. The number 8 showed speed last time out at Belterra in a high-level allowance race and then tired pretty badly. We watched Sylvia just sort of dominate Heartful Hope that day, but Heartful Hope does have winning experience at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Another horse that can settle outside and in the clear of traffic, probably has to take a little bit of a step forward from a fig standpoint.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if she could get back to some of those races that she was running last year after they switched her to dirt, maybe that could get her, close to a victory in this race. Her recent form is not good, but we'll see what she can do here. I mean, she's drawn outside with tactical speed, which I did like about her, and I do think she'll be a price in here, but she's got something to prove now.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Wednesday DRF race of the day, Asset Purchase. Second start for these connections. I think it's going to be a little bit more patiently ridden. You mentioned the start last time, and you're absolutely right. About a half beat slow, bumped around, and then rushed up out of there. Probably gained a lot of fitness from that race, and I think they'll be more patient here.
Yeah, the good thing about her is if other horses go in here, and that could certainly happen, that she's comfortable stalking the pace. So we'll see what kind of trip she pulls. I just think this is a great spot for her, Dan. Anything like that 6-1 morning line would be enough for me.
I think the top 3 contenders in here, even Sylvia, the 4th pick of mine, is a contender. I'm not sure I want to take any one of them as the favorite, however. We'll see how they bet this race. The Kid Pataki's in very good form. It's going to show some speed in here. Maybe can last stretching out to 6. 4-1-5-8 for Mike, 3-7-4-2 for me. It's our Wednesday DRF race of the day, the 3rd at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Good luck.